mentioned that you are building models for IOG. Do you have any insights for us to share at this point in time in terms of the price of ADA and correlations and things that are important to watch out for?
So I think we've identified a couple things. One is we want to keep a really high level of quality and trust about the technology, and we also want to start building up, kind of a set of long-term direction about, kind of what the mission of the platform is and where we want to go. And those are things that I hope we're going to be coming out with much more widely. Some of them, I think Charles has already talked some about where internally we're going to be taking the mission of the company and picking projects that are aligned with that. So, I think the things that we focus on are real delivery, not just pushing out a half-finished project to meet sort of an almost arbitrary deadline in some cases, claiming success. We're trying to avoid partnership announcements that are just noise. We want to, talk about things that are really critical and driving, that we feel are strategic in strategic partnerships and long-term value. So I know that was a total digression about the short-term prices of what is driving short-term prices. So there's a lot of things, to come back to the original question after my long disclaimer. News announcements, a lot of cryptos are still very speculative projects. So things that confirm real application or real utility or real value tend to move the price up. And those are things that we want to capitalize on of, talking about what's the real use case for this, this fancy technology, what can you do with it? So that's one that we really want to communicate and get out. I think we need to be much more open about deadlines and project schedules and timelines. And so that's one, I think, that getting better communication out, explaining why certain things need to be done in certain orders and what our own internal timelines are, is going to be one. And I think so that there are no surprises in the market would certainly be where we want to go. I think when people say, is this coin real or is this a scam? I hate to say it, but in the crypto world, you always have to be worried about that. And, that's one where we want to make sure that we do not ever lose that level of trust, either in our technical ability of delivering really solid code, our kind of theoretical research, or, by pushing out something early or doing something half finished. So there is kind of risks on both sides of that, and some of them are what's happening to the coin. So things that drive the coin: real utility, real value. There's kind of macro trends that are driving things. So it's sort of like the tide, and you've got waves. The public will be interested in coins. Things will make the headlines, and sometimes it's something like if any coin ends up on Forbes or the Wall Street Journal or The Economist, that tends to spark interest in the whole ecosystem. And
I see.
I think we also need to be looking not just at ADA in isolation, but really thinking about how crypto coins can clean up their act and start really communicating their value proposition and things like that as well. So those are the kind of things that I tend to be more focused at, and keeping people away from just price bumps. Sometimes it was just somebody selling in a hurry and sloppily. Sometimes it is the whole market reacting to Uniswap and just moving. And so it's not always strictly rational. So even in trading strategy, I tend to heavily favor relative value trading over just directional kind of calling the market type trading.